This is a Thestral, and you might be writing one of these in a few months. Now, if you find that as exciting as I do, then you are going to be blown away at what this Thestral could represent for our character. You see, our character starts as a 5th year at Hogwarts, and we don't know why. Also, our character has some sort of ancient magic, and we don't know why. So, what exactly does this Thestral tell us? So let's talk about that. Alright, so you may be asking yourself, HeroCat, slow down a minute, where did the Thestral come from? Viewer, great question. Let's answer that. So if we go over to our Hogwarts Legacy Reddit, we find this thread. Now, this is a very important thread because it is talking about a confirmed leak. And normally I don't talk about leaks because, all sorts of reasons. But this one is actually different, as this is not just a leak, it is a confirmed leak. And we'll go talk about what that means a little bit later in the video. But for right now, just know that this is a more than likely and a probable of how the game will be. And this is why. You see, the original poster for this leak is named Opeliment. And Opeliment found some source code off of the Hogwarts Legacy official website. So when you go to hogwartslegacy.com, it is off that website. Now, they did state that this source code is no longer available as of this morning at about 9:30 Central Standard Time. So it does look like Warner Brothers or Avalanche, whoever controls that website, has went ahead and taken that off, which makes sense because this was very public and a lot of people have already spoken about it. Now, the reason why this, I would say, is a probable or a confirmed leak is because Opeliment actually did provide valid evidence of how to find this source code and actually showed and incorporated this knowledge to the moderators of Reddit. And they have confirmed that this is one of the most substantial leaks that they have gotten since the leaked gameplay trailer all the way back in 2018. This is huge because this being on the website, the official Hogwarts Legacy website, might I add again, means that it has at least been manually input by an intern, by a staff member. Someone has intentionally put the name of this, whether it is an item, it is about a portion of the website or something, it has been manually input into the website and found. So it is safe to assume that at one point, this was going to be included in the game. If not, it will be included in the game. So that is where I found the Thestral mount, because it was found in the source code. In fact, it's number 1 on the list. That was a happy accident. Yeah. But it is very important. Okay, so we know how the Thestral mount came to be and why I'm talking about it now, but I still haven't answered my initial questions. We're like maybe 3 minutes into this video, and I'm going to burst your bubble. I still don't know why we're starting as a 5th year, and I also don't know why we have ancient magic. The speculation is out the door, but I do know some lore about our player character because this mount has been input in some degree. Whether it's still available and it's something that we are actually going to get, it is yet to be a confirmed feature. So right now it's just a confirmed leak. So with that being said, this confirms that our player character has actually seen a death. Yes, the Thestral is the fantastic beast from Harry Potter that is only visible to those who have been close to death, for someone who has actually seen death. The most blatant example will be the Cedric Diggory being killed. And then Harry Potter did see the Thestrals with Luna Lovegood. So a lot of the speculation currently for our player character's back lore is that Professor Fig kinda is like our father figure, almost like a Hagrid. With that same idea in mind, and the fact that we know our player character can see the Thestral because it's a mount, so yeah. And I'm gonna rant here for a second because the lore aspect is very touchy for someone like me. Love the lore. I understand that this is a video game and Portkey Game has been given creative freedom away from J.K. Rowling's ruling, so she doesn't actually say what they can and can't do. So it doesn't necessarily mean our game will be canon, but Avalanche did state that they are going to be very mindful of the lore. The best example is the Whomping Willow. In one of the original marketing of the Hogwarts grounds for Hogwarts Legacy, it had the Whomping Willow, and then it was removed because Avalanche was like, yeah, kind of our mistake. The Whomping Willow wasn't planted in 1890, so that was our bad, but you're going to be happy to know that we take the lore of the Wizarding World very seriously, and we're fans ourselves. And with all of those things in mind, the only way that our player would ride on one of these mounts is if they have seen death and they can see and interact with the Thestrals. The idea that we're an orphan and Professor Fig is our dad-like character is just looking more and more probable. Very much so. There's also another lore aspect where we could be from the Merlin bloodline, which I think could very well happen, as, you know, we do interact with a lot of puzzles that Merlin did. But we still don't have enough information as far as that goes. Okay, so we know that our character has witnessed some sort of death. So now it's speculation. Why does this matter? You see, I have this weird inclination that our player character has went through a traumatic event and has possibly become a wizard from being a muggle or from never showing magical ability ever. Almost like a squib. And then when the player character was introduced to this ancient magic, now then, once they got all this magic from finding the ancient magic, possibly they ended up accidentally destroying their parents. I mean, you go from being a kid all the way to 15 years old, 14, 15, never having magic, and then you get this super strong ancient magic. I feel like it would be easy to misuse it because of ignorance. You just don't know how to contain it. Now, that's not an end-all be-all for speculation, but it would make a lot of sense why we're starting as a 5th year and why Professor Fig kind of just seems like he's always there giving us, you know, like how Hagrid was for Harry. He just kind of rolls up, you know, Harry's in Dumbledore's office and Hagrid runs in with a chick and he's like, Harry didn't do it. And you're like, Hagrid, where'd you come from? Oh, yeah. You're like the dad figure. You're coming in to try to save Harry because you love him unconditionally. So I kind of think Professor Fig and a lot of others in our community do think as well that Professor Fig is going to be that Hagrid character for us. And I'm going to say it, maybe we're kind of like a boy who lived. But at the same time, maybe we accidentally killed our own parents. And we were like a squib or a muggle. And then we got magic from touching the ancient magic. But I really did want to share what I thought about the Thestral, how our character has most definitely seen death. But Avalanche has done such a good job maintaining the lore that if this is a pre-order mount, then they are basically saying that some traumatic event is the reason why, or some event with death related, obviously, is the reason why we're at the school. Because why else would they choose a Thestral to be the mount that you get as the first, like, DLC mount? I don't see any other reason other than the fact that some sort of trauma or chaos happened. And then again, you know, this is the unwritten story, so let's be honest. All of the Harry Potter fans are going to be like, yeah, I was like a boy who lived, or the witch who didn't die. And that's going to hit home for us, at least for the beginning. Now, obviously, I want the story to be different and unique, right? I want my own unwritten story. But it would make sense. And the fact that they would choose that mount to be the pre-order mount would also make sense. So tell me what you think about the Thestral and what that means for your character. Let me know in the comments. But I did want to clarify one thing for leaks, for people who are not in the know about games with leaks. There are essentially 3 components to pre-game. I'm going to call them leaks. The first component is a leak. So this is something that has been found, like a picture or a video, and it is not confirmed ever to have actually been in the game. It may just resemble the game. Or someone has told us this has come from a credible source that they don't tell us the name of. So that is just a leak. This is a probably not credible leak, but it is still considered a leak. Now, the difference in this kind of leak is this is going to be a confirmed leak, meaning it has been confirmed to come from a credible source. Obviously, that's going to be the Hogwarts Legacy website. I mean, if that's not credible, I don't know what is. All right? I would give you evidence. If I was that person on the Reddit, that's the evidence I would give you as well, because it's pretty good evidence as far as I'm concerned. Now, the next component of an actual leak of pre-release is just going to be confirmed feature. So it's a leak that was given to us, not as a leak, but as a feature of the game from the actual developer. For example, we know there's going to be broomsticks and flying in Hogwarts Legacy. They confirmed it in the gameplay trailer, and they have talked about it. They've even showed us a little Quidditch shop. Maybe we can upgrade our broomstick. We don't know about that. But we know that is a confirmed feature. So you have leak, which is something that you should be very much, this could not be at all in the game. And then you have a confirmed leak, which could be either way. So at some point, a confirmed leak has probably been in the game design when the developers were making it, but that doesn't necessarily mean it's going to be in the end when we actually receive the game. So this is not a confirmed feature. This is not the company saying, okay, listen, this is what we want to achieve, and this is what we want to ship out when the game is released to you. So it is kind of in that median where we know at some point someone has typed that word in and inserted it into the website. So at some point it had to do with Hogwarts Legacy, but we don't necessarily have anyone telling us, yes, this Thestral mount is in the game. So, you know, as of right now, I'd say 60-40, 60% of me's thinking, hey, Thestral's in the game. 40% of me is like, nah, they could have changed it. Whatever. Anyways, let me know your thoughts in the comments. Peace.